This is the BenQ EL2870U, a 28-inch 4K HDR ready monitor that even has support for AMD FreeSync and a 1 millisecond response time, not to mention all of BenQ's newfangled technologies like their Brightness Intelligence Plus, their Smart Focus and their eye care technology, all packed into a monitor that cost under £300. Let's go find out if this thing is actually worth buying. So let's start by physically taking a look at the monitor. It's really a case of either you're going to like it or you're not. This isn't a monitor that's got ultra slim bezels or even an ultra slim profile. Coming in at approximately 65 by 47 by 14 centimeters, it's not what I would refer to as ultra sleek. But I personally like the understated design with its metallic grey finish, with the bottom bezel being a lighter shade compared to the top and side bezels. It's a simple modern design without trying too hard or even trying to look aggressive to market itself towards gamers with the FreeSync and the 1 millisecond response time. One thing I did notice and like is the fact that the display image goes right into the four corners, utilising the maximum screen real estate, unlike other monitors that I've checked at this price point. The base of the EL2870U is a combination of plastic and a hefty metal insert on the bottom, and this works surprisingly well. The monitor stays firmly planted even when playing the most twitchy of gaming titles. Screen movement is pretty well handled, and I must admit I was a little impressed. In terms of adjustability, you're a little limited with only up and down tilt between 5 and 15 degrees. There is no height adjustability, but there is a VESA mount should you want the additional flexibility to accommodate your battle station setup or workstation setup. In terms of port selection, we have two HDMI 2.0 and one DisplayPort 1.4. There is also a headphone input, and on that note, the audio derived from that 3.5mm port, I have to say, was pretty decent. The EL2870U uses a TN panel, which is great as they have the fastest response time, and as such it is super important for anyone looking to get up the leaderboard on Fortnite. For example, for content creators, however, like myself, this is not going to get the job done as it only covers around 72% or 75% of the NTSC color gamut, which is, for example, is pretty useless for photo editing or video work, especially color correction in post-production. For something like that, you might want to take a look at BenQ's SW271, but be warned it costs over £1,000. For a more sensible option, maybe check out BenQ's PD2700U at less than £500. That thing is pretty impressive. So, getting back to the monitor in hand, BenQ has incorporated more than a few key features into the EL2870U, such as flicker-free technology. Quite simply, eliminates, as the word suggests, flickering, which effectively reduces your eye fatigue and even headaches brought on by prolonged computer use or even those long sessions on GTA 5. It also incorporates low blue light technology, and some studies have shown that prolonged exposure to this may lead to sleep disorders and worse muscle degeneration. Obviously, people have their own opinions on this. I'd rather have it than not. Another cool feature that they've packed into this monitor is Smart Focus, which is basically, as the name suggests, focuses on the key area on the screen which is being used at the specific time. This has actually proven to be rather useful, but it only seems to work well with specific programs and video services like YouTube. And for those of you that are not clear what AMD FreeSync is, basically it will reduce screen tearing by synchronizing the refresh rate of your monitor to the frame rate of, say, an AMD video card like an RX Vega 64 graphics card. NVIDIA also have pretty much the same technology, but they refer to theirs as G-Sync, both behave in exactly the same way. Typically though, you will see a difference of around $100 to $200 between a monitor that supports AMD FreeSync and one which supports G-Sync, usually because AMD do not charge monitor manufacturers a license fee, while NVIDIA like to charge a premium for their technology. The TN panel that BenQ have used on the EL2870U offers amazing colour and clarity. Everything appears to be very natural and vivid, even with HDR simulation turned on, either when you're watching movies or actually in-game. This is by far one of the best TN panels I've personally used. The refresh rate on the monitor tops out around 60Hz, and to be fair, this is to be expected from a 4K monitor. HDMI 2.0 is obviously limited to 4K 60Hz. 120Hz, which is fine for movies and casual gamers and those on a budget. For a more serious gamer, obviously maybe look for something that offers at least 100Hz, refresh rate at 1440p. I must admit I was not sold on the HDR capabilities of the monitor. I mean, I personally would not buy this purely on its HDR merits. I mean, firstly, the brightness is only 300 nits. Realistically, this should be around 1000 nits. It also has a relatively low static contrast ratio, and the pixels per inch is only 0.16mm. But all that said, the monitor is able to display 10-bit color, and the overall image quality, especially when you're playing games or movies, for most of you gamers, or most of you, like, if you watch Netflix in your office, or if you're watching Netflix in your bedroom, you're going to be absolutely fine, and you will absolutely adore the image that this monitor can display. Now, staying on the topic of HDR, there is a button on the actual front of the monitor and it says HDR. Now, if you go ahead and press it, you will actually enable HDR, and then if you press it again, you'll enable brightness intelligence. Now, if you combine those together, you're going to get the best image available in your current lighting situation. Point to note though, when you do actually enable HDR, some of the settings in the menu become locked and you can't actually adjust any of them until you deactivate HDR. The buttons on the EL2870U are also well positioned, they're easy to navigate, and there's a good amount of distance between each button, so you're not going to mispress anything. I also like their implementation of the larger illuminated power button that you can see, and the menu options on this monitor, as you would expect, this very feature rich, and you have access to adjust your brightness, contrast, gamma, all of that stuff, but you also have the ability to adjust the smart features of the monitor, like the blue light filter and the smart focus. So in conclusion, if you're a gamer and you're not into like high frame rates, then maybe go ahead and check this monitor out. If you're into just media consumption, again, you should definitely check this monitor out. 4K at an affordable price with a whole host of other features built in to make your life easier. So if you guys got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And until next time, my name is Mike, this is Tech404. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.